Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of September. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with the decision by the State Board of Education to approve publication of the new MSIP-5 accreditation standards. The Missouri School Improvement Program, or MSIP, is the state system used to accredit public schools. MSIP-5 would be the fourth revision since the program's inception in 1990. There are a number of changes in the MSIP-5 rule approved by the State Board compared to the proposal withdrawn earlier this year at the request of MSBA and other education groups. They include a reduction in the number of required assessments from 14 to 11. Currently, there are 8 required state assessments. The removal of reportable-only measures from the annual performance report, including the data on how well high school graduates perform in college. Giving school districts credit for students who have participated in career and technical education programs and who are employed in those areas. And the creation of a new accreditation classification called Accredited with Distinction. A member of the steering committee that guided the MSIP-5 public engagement process this past summer is MSBA President Vic Lenz, and he says he's pleased with the new standards.
I'm very pleased with the process and the result that was followed. The department and the commissioner listened to the concerns of the education community, put it out for public comment, and the end result in the MSIP-5 rule that was proposed recently by the State Board took those things into account and is vastly improved from what we had earlier.
After a public comment period, it's anticipated the State Board will vote on final approval of the standards in December. A provision in Senate Bill 54 aimed at restricting electronic communication between teachers and students has been raising a lot of concerns among teachers and others in recent weeks. So much so that a judge now has blocked the law from taking effect, and Governor Nixon is asking the General Assembly to repeal the provision during a special session this month. MSBA's Senior Director of Employment and Labor Relations, Susan Goldammer, says the issue needs to be clarified.
My biggest concern, and I think everyone's largest concern, is that somehow school districts will not be able to use technology for educational purposes in the best way that it can be. And as we know, most of our children are very plugged in these days, and so school districts really need to be able to use all the tools, all the technology tools, in order to educate students. And it's a shame to have a law that might in any way inhibit that kind of communication.
MSBA is working with other education groups and legislators to develop new language addressing the issue of teacher-student contact on social media sites. The Public School Retirement System Board of Directors has approved a plan designed to keep the PSRS and the public education and employee retirement systems on sound financial footing in the future. The plan would establish a guaranteed 2% cost of living adjustment for retirees, regardless of the inflation rate, up to 5%. PSRS Executive Director Steve Yoakum tells us the plan will address the issue of rising contribution rates for school districts and employees.
And by setting that contribution, that cost of living at 2%, what we're really doing is setting the contribution rate at the current levels for the next several years. And I think that's going to be a welcome relief both to our members as well as to our school districts who have had challenges budgeting as we've increased those contribution rates over the last couple of years.
Yoakum says Missouri's public school retirement system is in much better shape than many public employee retirement systems elsewhere in the country. Well, there's still time to register for the 2011 annual conference sponsored by MSBA in cooperation with MASA. That event is coming up later this month. Visit the MSBA website for registration information. And please remember to send your district's delegate or delegates to the MSBA Delegate Assembly on Friday, September 30th at the Lake of the Ozarks. Be sure your board's voice is represented at the meeting, where school board members vote on legislative resolutions for the coming year. Your delegate does not have to be registered for the annual conference in order to participate in the Delegate Assembly. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.